Now here's the problem, guys, with the Silverado. All this paint is just chipped. Now lucky for me is that it's not on the actually outside of the body. So being able to touch this up, it's going to be barely even noticeable. And then I'm going to spray some of that clear coat on top of it. There's also some up here too. The main reason why this happened was because the mud tires here with such big grooves were kicking up rocks because I was doing all that trail riding and stuff. So having fun isn't always the best thing to do for your truck if you're trying to keep it in the best condition. But we're gonna fix it up here, and I got everything here to start the process. I got my handy dandy respirator here. Tired of breathing in all that to paint. I got some nice sandpaper here because I'm actually gonna sand it a little bit just to make sure that the paint holds on well. Got a nice cloth here, nice sock. Got the paint obviously, and then I have some rubbing alcohol to wipe down the surface after I sand it a little bit. So the first thing I'm going to do is sand it, then I'm going to wipe it down, then after that we'll get started on the painting process. There we go, sanded it up pretty good. Little spots of corrosion was starting, so I got to all of that. I'm trying to stay as much as I can away from the edge of the truck, because if you're over here, I mean, you can't really notice that this is here, so that's a good thing. I'm glad that it's only on the inside here, because I could always get some well covers, fender flares, whatever, it'll cover it up completely. I also sanded it up a little bit up here, and I got over here as well. So now that's all done, I'm now ready to begin the process of painting. Finished the job, and I must say it's looking pretty good, almost as good as new, really. I also got it up there, touched up a little bit around here, and I also got the other side. It showed that the metal there needed to be touched up a little bit as well, with a little bit of scratches. I figured this side would have some scratches as well. And then I also went around in little places around the truck, touched up those places. It was looking, you know, and I'll be honest, the majority of the scratches on this truck are honestly from the one trip that I made 2 winters ago. I got stuck and I had to floor it like 10 times to get out. We finally got out of there. It sucked a lot. But yeah, I touched up on pretty much all the scratches on the truck. Now I wouldn't say the truck is scratch free or anything, but I must say it's looking a lot better than it did before. If you just look at that, but can you really pinpoint any scratches right now? All the deepest scratches, I honestly addressed as many as I could, and the truck is looking pretty good. I went all the way around. I know there's no scratches on the top because I recently washed it. Unlike the Cummins, there was a scratch on there. I don't know how that happens. It's definitely once in a blue moon type of deal, but it wasn't that bad, and I took care of that. And there wasn't really anything on the hood to address. It's looking pretty good up there. But really, there wasn't any scratches, like anything that bad that needed to be addressed. There was this one scratch that was pretty deep, way in there. Must have been a pretty big rock. But yeah, other than that, everything's good. So I'm just gonna let this dry for about, I'd say, half an hour, 45 minutes. Maybe even give it an hour, and then I'm going to spray clear coat over everything that I touched up on. So I'm going to give it about 45 minutes to an hour, and then I'm going to spray over some clear coat over everything that I touched up on, just to make sure that it's ready to go for the road and future adventures ahead. So the next thing I'm going to do is take off the ring of the antenna of the Cummins, and then we're going to paint the base. So I'm finally excited to be able to finish this job on the Cummins. I had this taped off for a long time, and really, I like my radio, but so does everyone else. So it's finally time to get this base off of here, get that antenna back on, get that tape off. Yep, nice and dry on the inside there. I'm glad that tape works. So I got the antenna tool right here. Now there's 6 different sizes here that I can use. So it looks like these 2, maybe just for the antenna. But this actually has 3 inserts on the sides of the antenna. So I'm going to use the one that has 3 on there. And hopefully I'll be able to get this off. There's not much room to turn this tool at all. Now that I have it turned, there's no way it's going to fit, but I don't even care, guys. I have no problem. I got it off. And the base comes right. Ooh, that's gonna need cleaned up. But there we go. Got the base right off. All plastic. Just gonna paint that up real quick. Didn't even need to take the fender out at all. This thing's pretty loose. But yeah, I'm gonna clean this up first, and then we'll get to painting the base. Dang it. I accidentally dropped the real base of the antenna down into here, so I'm gonna have to take the fender off, reposition that when I put it back on. But for right now, I'm just gonna take the base in, clean this up a little bit, paint it over, and then I'm gonna get this fender down and put this back into place once I'm ready to put this back on. If this is the factory paint on the inside, it actually was lighter than before. You'd think with all the sun and stuff, the paint would get, you know, lighter than the factory, but that's not the case. The paint's darker on the outside. I don't mind each color. It's the best I can get. I mean, there still is a line there from how long this has been there. That's fine. It's going to be covered once I have that on. So let's get in, clean this up, paint it over. You're just going to touch up a little bit on the edges here. So speaking of paint, I mean, the paint that I used on the Silverado, it wasn't too bad. I mean, it was a little bit liquidy, but it wasn't really meant for bare metal. Oh, and I'm also going to sand the ring down, because you notice is that this is all chrome, so I'm going to sand the whole thing down here. I'm going to paint this black too, so then it matches the newly painted base and the newly painted antenna. Alright guys, so I'm inside now and I got my ring that I'm going to sand down and paint, and I got the base right here. So first of all, I'm going to sand the top of this ring down, and then I'm going to get the edges as much as I can. Okay guys, so I got a little setup going on here outside in the grass because I want to protect the driveway from overspray and getting too much paint on there. And I got the ring here all roughed up. Then I got the base. I actually took it inside to clean up. And the product I'm using today is Reinstalling trim and bumper paint. Now I figured while I let that dry, I'm just going to clear coat everything that I painted on the truck over here. I'm going to get the other side as well. Now the product I'm using, now yeah, I shouldn't be using this because it's a Dodge brand, Moper Clear Coat. I still had some from when I was painting the Cummins, so I figured I'd use the rest on the Silverado.
Yeah, that worked. Yeah, I'm gonna put these over here.
So I figured while I let all that dry, I better get this license plate and license plate cover back on. Yeah, I took it off again to repaint the bolts, but I also repainted the cover. Boom! Say it's looking pretty good. Painted bolts now, matching the cover. Same paint, of course. Thinking it looks like it's looking like a lot better than without the cover. So now that we got that done, it's time to get back to the Cummins. Let's get that stuff put back on the truck. Alright guys, so before I get started on the Cummins, I just want to let you know that I'm going to be running to the post office real quick, because that's one of the ways I like to make money, is I buy and sell electronics, clothing, anything with value really, you name it. And it's a great thing to do. What's going on guys? It's the next day today and I got everything here set up. I got all the tools I need. I got the screws to put the fender back into place and the little pieces that go underneath here. So I have that painted. I have the antenna base painted now. I also have the ring painted. Everything's looking good. I also have the antenna inside. I'm going to grab that once I get the base back into place. So to get this back into place, I'm going to have to take down the fender well, because I accidentally dropped the whole antenna unit down in the fender, but I'll be able to easily get it out. I got the tools here I need. So without further ado, let's get this well down. And there we go, got the well down once again. The antenna base fell right out right here, easy for me to see. All I got to do is get that base back in, then I can put the antenna on. Threw a quick layer of paint on some of the exhaust piping, some piping over here. Figured I'd get that with some Reinstalling high heat paint, add some life to it. Say hello once again to the Cummins turbo. Wow, very magnificent, isn't it? Well anyways, so let's get this tape off, and then I'm gonna put the base back in, close up the well. Alright guys, change of plan actually. If you look, this is all dang chipped up. So I'm just gonna freaking paint all of this up. I don't even care the color because you're not even gonna see it. I got this all taped up on the edges here, but I'm trying to get this thing all painted up. So I'm gonna start on that now, and then we'll get back to putting the Cummins back together. Finally finished the job. Got it all painted up underneath the body now. It's looking pretty good. I did it all the way down. Took some remaining tape off the truck. I still got some in the doors. Notice I forgot that side. But everything's looking good. So it's now finally time to finish the antenna installation. And I taped off the edge of it here so that way it doesn't get paint on where it connects, but let's get it back in. So the base is looking pretty good. I think it looks good, and I got the ring around it too. Chrome and metal doesn't look too good, and this was faded, so I think I like the look of this better. Let me know what you guys think below. Oh yeah, finally got the job done, fully painted. Everything is looking great. Now I just got to get these pieces back around the Cummins. I'm gonna take care of all this tape. There we go, man. Cummins is looking pretty dang clean. Got that piece back in. Everything's painted up and good. Got all the tape off everywhere. Man, couldn't ask for a better truck. Got the antenna done. Everything is looking good now. But there is one more thing that I want to do to the Cummins. And that is that I already got the registration and insurance paperwork in the truck. It's actually on the other side here that I have the other stuff. Yeah, I already put that stuff in the glove box. Still got this stuff from when I painted. And I'm gonna have to put this weight class sticker on and also Pennsylvania license plate. Yep, the truck is now a Pennsylvania truck, sadly, because of course you know how here we have different rules and regulations. See, Tennessee, you don't even need inspection or weight class, emission stuff and all that garbage. I don't think it's emissions in PA, but that's a good thing. So let's get this started. Get that license plate on. You know what? I think I'm just gonna wait to put the sticker on once I get my inspection sticker on, so I don't have to worry about positioning and all that and measuring. But for right now, I'm gonna put my license plate on. I'm probably gonna end up running the temporary plate once again. So I'm gonna just throw this on real quick. So once I get my inspection tomorrow, actually, I'm gonna be able to order the emissions delete parts, and we'll finally be able to do some really cool mods with the Cummins. And there we go. Got the license plate on the truck. I put the sticker in the center console for the inspection tomorrow. So everything's looking good. I touched up a little bit of paint on the windshield wiper there. And everything's looking pretty dang good on the truck now. Yeah, I'm honestly really excited for the future mods coming to this truck. I hope you guys are too, because there's a lot of cool stuff that is going to be coming very shortly. And I want to keep it all a surprise. I'd say at about maybe a month or two, Brandon should be getting his Cummins. So there's going to be crazy collabs going on with trucks and stuff like that. We're going to get my other friends involved. We're going to be doing a lot of truck stuff on the channel, so it's going to be pretty awesome. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe so I can see you next video and you can keep updated on my later content. Have a nice day, guys. This is actually something I should have done for the 10 hours of driving I did home, was unplug the EGR. I'm just going to keep that unplugged until I get down and get the truck inspected, but now it's not going to do those dang exhaust gas recirculations. Between the 10 and 11 trucks, you can just unplug the EGR. It's going to throw no codes, so we're good to go.